I've heard good things
Super cool.
about that. Have you watched How to Get Away with Murder?
Yes, my friend Jack is on that show.
What?
It's always really funny.
Who does he play?
Jack Falahy. He's the I don't know their names. He's one of the 5. The I can't remember what
Is
his.
he one of the like main murderers?
Yes. What the hell is his character's? Okay, now we're
You
looking.
are such a knowledgeable and supportive friend.
He plays some bullshit.
He's a guy.
I don't know who the fuck he is.
Hold on.
He
hold
plays
on.
some character.
Hello, everybody, and welcome this fine Saturday evening, Sunday morning for some of you all, to the Greyhawk channel as we are delving into episode 2 of the Valley of Soot Skull. I am your host, Grimjack21502. I am here with some of the finest RPers that you will ever see this side of the Nut House. But today we are going to delve in and see exactly what it is that makes them tick. As if you caught the last episode of the last season, we were able to get into a little bit of crossback, flash forward, present looking forward back, the meeting of the company, and perhaps its end in, hey, Machine Gun Tapper, hey, Machine Gun. Anyway, everybody, we are here. We're ready to rock and roll on this Saturday night. Thank you so much for being with us. Before we get started into everything else, it is only appropriate that I talk to these wonderful people, as I am long-winded and also kind of punch-drunk. So let's go north to Lauren, who is otherwise known as Machine Gun Lauren. Machine Gun, how are you doing tonight? It sounds like it. It sounds great. Back to the firing range with you, Machine Gun, as we go right over to the side and we talk to our druid. Aris, how are you doing this evening? Oh, wonderful.
Even hear me typing, Greg.
Oh,
Ha!
oh boy. Okay. All right. Aris is muted. Did you guys hear Lauren?
I don't think they heard any of us.
They didn't
Yeah, I
hear
don't
any
think
of
we
us.
heard you.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I always like, hey, make sure you contact Shane on at the Greyhawk channel on Twitter and let him know what a heck of a job I'm doing here with the tech side of everything. And just to explain a bit, this is like being given the keys to the Millennium Falcon and for 2 weeks in a row, crashing it at takeoff. But ladies and gentlemen, let's try to go to warp speed or hyperspace or whatever the hell we're doing right now. And I will once again go above me to the person not known as Machine Gun Lauren,
Yep.
known as Very Quiet Lauren.
So quiet.
Lauren, tell us about your character and we'll start this whole thing over again
Okay.
because I love chat and I want them to hear everything because I'm an idiot. Go for it.
This is a good intro. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm That's Such a Ginger on Twitter. I'm super happy to be here. Nobody heard me typing, so things are going really well tonight. I'm playing Billy Swan. She's an arcane academic. She wears lots of sparkly things that are really, they're sparkly. It's good. It's good. And she gives people the best nicknames, and that's what she's doing here. Very, very seriously. That's me done.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Lauren. I appreciate your silence and your composure during everything that's just happened. Let's go over now to the other side as we talk to our druid. Horace, how are you doing this evening? I feel like we've done this before.
You know what? I'm glad about this because I didn't like what I said before and I'm going to change it now. I get a redo. I'm Eris
Love it.
Savad. When I'm not playing with hula hoops and making stuff, I am playing Kaylee, the Wood Elf Druid monk of Rilliphane. She carries a staff which looks like a mini oak tree, and she has blue hair, and she likes to party and drinks from a flask. But you know, when things
What was
happen
it?
in Red
Fruit,
Dragon,
fruit gin or something? Fruit whiskey?
Yeah, totally. Whatever I said, I don't remember what I said. We'll go with that. But when red dragons appear, she's a little bit more serious and all business. So let's get it going.
Nice. Yeah, when the red dragons come out, the blue hair gets tied up into the business knot, and we will see exactly what happens. As we drop down from our druid to our paladin, Brew. How are you doing today, my friend?
Oh, doing pretty good. Looking forward to a possible grisly end. I'm playing Rexarian, the paladin of Tretherian, who is sworn on a personal level at this point with one of the main bad guys to bring this horror show to an end. And he's a middle-aged paladin, already looking towards an end game, maybe. But he's here to stop as much as he can and hopefully right all this wrong, as paladins do.
Paladins, if they're anything, they're the DM's best friend, because you don't have to worry about there being a branch or a choice when you have one in the party. I love it. I appreciate you, Brew. I speak your name. Let us go over to the next one beside the man in the mask, the mystery, the question mark. Whoever you are, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to playing this. Looking forward to all week. I play Greyhawk, also known as Varys Felon. I play I play kind of like a ranger class, but he's multi-classed up the wazoo. And I'm just looking to shoot things, take names, and wear a mask.
Excellent. Now, Pro, I don't want you to tell everybody what you are, but you speak of multi-class, so I just want you to give the levels of what you are. Don't say what you are, just the numbers. So if you would give chat that, give him a little taste, give him a little bite.
I guess a little flavor, yeah. Well, to satiate your palate, it's a 7-3-4-1.
7-3-4-1, everybody. We're not
Interesting
talking
order.
Right. I always like when it's 7-3-4-1 and there's an increase where it's almost like that second one that you went to. It sounded cool at the time. Like you were drinking at the bar and you're like, yeah, I think I'm going to try that. And then you got into it and you're like, man, this just sucks. I'm going to try this other thing. Usually a bar thing. Anyway.
Just wasn't feeling it.
Oh man, did my friends let me multi-class last night? What?
Wow, oh my word, what's this? Why are my hit dice different? Oh, I multi-classed last night. Okay, so going upstairs to somebody.
Friends don't multi-class.
All right, so as we go north from the multi-classer to, I believe, the only single, well, we have Rex, but Billy, is Billy multi-class? Billy's multi-class, isn't she? No? Okay, so we have 3 single-class people. Let's go to the last of the single classes. Heavenly, how are you doing this evening?
I'm very well. Thank you so much. Oh, yes. Okay. Continuing on. I'm playing Giddy, who is a gnome monk. You may remember me from last session because Greg made me cry immediately. He was like, hey, we're gonna role play like you and me, like I'm gonna be Yaza, you're gonna be the first person I role play with. And I was like, okay, Greg, I'm so excited. And then he made me cry in front of a bunch of strangers on the internet.
You're speaking to me on a spiritual level right now, Heavenly. Like I feel you.
Why do I sound so bad in this retelling? Hey, we're just gonna RP. Like, it's like the grossest sound.
I was like,
that's how I sound.
And I was like carrying all of my books, and he like pulled up in a really nice hot rod, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to RP with me?" And I was like, "Sure."
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard. I couldn't be creepier, and I couldn't love it anymore. I don't understand what's going on.
The only thing that'd be creepier if you rolled up in the free candy van.
Yeah.
Right, I thought that's what it was, but then she made it a hot rod,
No,
and it got cool. Right. It went from it to like dazed and confused real quick, which I like. I like that transition. So
yeah, for women, they're actually the same thing. So.
Heavenly Kelly, how have we not known you all my life?
Right? You and I need to be best friends, please.
Can we be best friends?
Of course.
Oh, good.
Fantastic, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is gonna be a fun one for everybody else, but apparently me. But let's dive in and get into all this. But before we get into all of this, something that this guy who crashed a Millennium Falcon last week and bumped it on the way out of the docks this week, I want to make sure that I take time here on the Greyhawk channel to make sure that I give a shout out to all of our fantastic sponsors. Now, the first sponsor that we can't do without here on the Greyhawk channel is Tabletop Loot. Now, Tabletop Loot, go to them for all your dice needs. I have bags of their dice around right it's in my box. I got their bone dice, which are fantastic. They're like the coolest. They feel different than regular dice, which if you're a tactile person like me, if you like bone dice and hot rods, I'm your guy. So Tabletop Loot, if you go there and type in the coupon code Greyhawk, you will get 15% off of your dice order. So make sure you go and check out Tabletop Loot. In addition to them, the fabulous Devin Rue, who is the cartographer of the stars for Critical Role and everybody else that wants something that looks dope as far as a map. Please go to her website, rueinc.com, and there, because you are a fabulous person that watches and attends the Greyhawk channel, you can get a discount there as well. Now, specifically for the Twitch subscribers and Patreon supporters, Cantrip Candles offers fragrant discounts, so a big thank you to our generous sponsors. And that's just not a line that I read. I actually am smelling a walk in the woods right now because I like to smell like I'm in the woods when I'm in my basement. Which, this smells better than my basement. So it's awesome and it's great. And then those are all of our sponsors. Thank you all, everybody, for your fantastic support of a fantastic channel, telling epic stories, and forgiving me when I crashed the Millennium Falcon upon liftoff. But anywho, as we delve away from the Captain Solos and Captain Calrissians and get back into what's important, which is these Dungeons and Dragons on this here Greyhawk channel, the one thing I wanted to mention from last week as well is Divine Favor was achieved last week, and we did not mention it on stream. Divine Favor was achieved, and it was awarded to Aris. So Kaylee got a nat 20 to use on any attack roll that she has at any point during the game. So if at any point she tells me she wants the nat 20 in attack, she can do so thanks to chat's Divine Favor. Should we reach it tonight, we will again see who gets awarded and what they get awarded, and it will definitely help because this is a high-level campaign, and even the roll of one virtual or actual tabletop loot dice will be able to swing it in your favor. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Greyhawkians of all ages, let's get into exactly what happened on last week's episode of the Valley of Soot Skull. Pyrecaust, the first flame, an ancient red dragon, flew overhead in a blasted and scorched wasteland. Several days before that, a company was formed. Someone in chat called the company of the Hand, which I dug, considering Reynard's state. Reynard, who was the man sent by Lord Homer to conscript several special and unique and powerful individuals of the Shieldlands into a supergroup. He does not have his right hand. His sleeve is pinned up. And so the company of the Hand, I thought, was really nice. In addition to all of that, Giddy, the last of her order, traveled to a citadel on a mission foretold by her now defunct order. Kaylee, the defender of the woodlands, met a man missing his right hand, Reynard, and he served her a letter from Lord Homer of the Shieldlands. The letter asked that the druid come to the citadel to hear a proposition by the Lord. Rexarian the Paladin was approached by Reynard and Kaylee to join the company as well. He accepted automatically, as all good knights must. The company then went to the inn known as Strider's Rest, where they witnessed a feeble attempt by bounty hunters to capture the being known as Grey Fox. It ended as all poorly planned crusades end in tears and blood. Grey Fox agreed to answer the Lord's summons, but made no guarantees beyond that. Finally, the group found the war correspondent and bard Billy as she viewed the flood of refugees heading south from the invading armies of the north. A similar proposition and response was given and obtained as the company formed and headed to the Citadel. And I just lost my place because I am a pro. Thank you. It was given. Okay. Reynard took his words to see Lord Homer, but Giddy, arriving on her own, lacked the knowledge of the Citadel to find the Lord on her own. However, a helpful sparrow with a belly full of stolen bread aided the monk in finding the Lord. With the company gathered, Lord Homer explained the quest. The Valley of Soot Skull, a mythical place told mainly as a fairy tale to children, is the Lord's goal. As deep legend has it, if someone travels to the valley and carries with them a liege blessed being, that person gains godlike powers. Lord Homer believes that the valley exists and that if the group is successful, they will use the power to save the Shieldlands from the demonic army invading and advancing from the north. Sister Ernestine, the last of her order, is dying from a demon's curse, but she has agreed to accompany them to find the valley, and in addition with the Liege Lord's blessing, provide the catalyst for the godlike power. Rexarian, hoping to cure the curse, tried to use his own healing powers on Sister Ernestine. However, he was transported spiritually or mentally to a strange, dark space where he met the Demon's Lord Champion and Hound, Duke Dundalok. After pleasantries were exchanged, Rex returned to the world as the rest of the company separated him and dispelled the ensorcelled condition. With time of the essence, the company agreed to leave at once for the shrine said to lead to the valley. But we ended our last episode with a flash to the present, where the company stood against Pyrecaust, the first flame. The ancient red dragon breathed its jet of pure, hot, molten lava, but Sister Ernestine produced a shield of pure blue force that parted the volcanic power, screaming, "Get behind me." And that is where we start this week's episode of the Valley of Soot and Skull. So last week, kids, as we started this journey, we also rolled some initiative at the top of the very first show. That initiative order is as follows. It is Billy, Pyrecaust, Giddy, Gray Fox, Kaylee, and Rex. As you are all standing there, we can check over on Roll20 if you would like, as I am going to, for positioning purposes, drop in a good friend of mine. Perhaps. Maybe not. Is he going to? Is he going to come in? Maybe not. Show to player. No. Okay, never mind. What would you like to do, Billy, there he is, as we decide exactly what you're going to do as this flame erupts and ripples around Sister Ernestine's force bubble. And as she pulls it off, you realize that whatever device or artifact she used must have been worn around her neck, and you see it consumed in ash as the beast flies over and the shield falls. It seems as if whatever she did, she has but one use to do it. And with the expenditure of this energy, she seems very mortal. And the creature turns and banks and comes back around facing you all. You are all clustered behind Sister Ernestine. Let me know, and if you can pull out perhaps a little bit of an icon or note exactly where you are in relation to everybody. I'm going to ping on the map.
We're on the starting screen. Correct.
It's not.
Oh.
You can't see it. You might have to move
Well,
up.
that would help then if I did that.
Oh, why are there two, Greg?
Are there two?
Greg, why don't you tell us?
Greg, why are there? Greg, there are two.
Yes, there are two.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
Make one go away.
Oh
Please.
my god.
I don't
Greg,
see
you're
the
a
other
monster.
I want them to go away.
One. Where's the other one? I don't see the other one.
No, it's
Okay.
Well, it's gone now.
now.
There he is.
Oh. We're suspicious of you anyway.
What?
Okay, so right there is where you guys currently are as Pyrecaust is coming in. Lauren, please tell me where Billy ends up and what she does.
Right. So we fight in this. Is that what we're doing? I'm looking at Giddy.
Yes, we have to.
Oh, right. I knew that. Thank you. You want to see something funny?
I don't really think now is the time.
No, you
Oh,
want to
please.
see something funny, I think. Okay, I will point up at the dragon. A little tune begins to come out, maybe vaguely resembling Johnny Cash, and the dragon begins to dance, Greg. There's a irresistible dance on it.
He begins to dance.
Yes. Yes, he
Does
does,
he-
Greg.
He just
does
dances.
not get to save yet.
He has no saving throw. He just dances.
Not yet. He is dancing. He doesn't get to save unless he uses an action on his turn. So, yep, he begins dancing. He can't move. He has to use his movement without leaving his space, has disadvantage on dex saves and attacks. Everyone else has advantage on attack rolls against it. And if he wants to stop dancing, he must use his action to try and save from it. And I would like to see how the dragon dances, Greg.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing that. But okay, so
My
as the-
immersions.
My immersion.
My immersions.
immersion.
okay, so as the dragon is hit by this melody, a fit takes the dragon not so much as a dance, but as it is a swaying, almost cat-like, in as the tail whips and sways behind it, causing a bit of a bow in the body. It's nothing that bipeds would consider dancing, but for a dragon of this size and this might, it looks vaguely similar to the gift that has Shaq and the kitty, as the kitty's going like this and Shaq's going like this, and it looks a little bit like that. Yeah, it looks a little bit like that. And so you say that he has to spend an action, and then once he spends an action, that triggers a saving throw.
Yeah, if he wants to make it stop, he has to use an action to save from it. It's not just automatically at the end of his turn or anything.
Okay, so what he's going to do then is he's going to use one of his legendary actions. He's going to use a legendary action to tail attack as he comes back around. And as you are in the process of having your turn, I'm going to give you this option to move as he is moving back in to attack. But he looks a lot like the kitty as he's coming in. He's got the shimmy.
I mean, it's funny, at least. It's pretty good, right? And I will... Yeah, I'm gonna move. So it's a wisdom saving throw. You want to use a legendary action to do it.
Well, the greatest thing about this is that I can roll and then decide whether or not I want to use a legendary action.
Yeah, I know.
So, what's your DC?
18, baby.
Oh, he's gonna have to burn one. So as he burns his first legendary save to stop dancing,
Nah.
Burn those things.
Point was achieved.
Oh, that's all I've ever wanted to do. Thank you, Greg.
so yes,
Driving.
it seems irritated, but it really ends this with a flourish. So as you get away, what would you like to do? You kind of disappear off to the side. How do you break away?
Okay, yeah. Well, yes, good. It's staying away from me at least. I'm going to, maybe not clumping up might be a good thing. Does that seem like a good thing? I'm gonna move.
We should stick together.
I don't think we should clump up.
Cool, great.
Shit roast.
Yeah, I'm going to move. I want to stay within. That's gonna be a mistake. I'll go as far as I can. It's just 30 feet. Who's the next person after me?
That would be the dragon.
No, no.
Oh, the next, if she's still alive.
Fuck.
You haven't
Cool.
killed it yet.
Cool. Great. Okay. I will. Yep, I'm just going to move. Seems like a good idea. And that's it, I think.
Okay, if you would ping to me where exactly you are, or maybe we could make a little mark there on the
Whoops.
the map so I know just for purposes.
Right.
Just for
Sure.
purposes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I believe you.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and set that up because he's coming in anyway, and he is going to watch as you peel away from the group. And as he looks at the group, he is going to do two things. One is
Oh, you want me to like draw it? Okay.
Okay, well, that doesn't happen. Now what I want
Yes.
now what I want everyone to do is everybody around, please make me a wisdom saving throw, if you will.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Okay. Let me see.
I did it good and now I'm running.
Yeah. That's how that works, as I look around and see exactly what I need to get. Okay, so anybody that had less than a 21, which is going to be Rex, it's going to be Billy, and it's definitely going to be Greyhawk. All of you now are frightened of this creature, and you must escape via stage left, right, or behind, as you cannot advance on this creature. And at the end of each of your rounds, you all know that you will be able to roll for another saving throw to see if you can somehow get past this frightened effect. However, we have a monk and we have a druid who were able to shake off this dreadful thing. And as this dreadful thing this frightful presence is shaken off, and as Pyrecaust looks and laughs, maybe in glee at the fact that he felt this magic course through him that created him to, or caused him to dance as he did, he and he turns, and Giddy, you are up as this creature is now standing, lording over you all, greater than anything you've ever seen draw breath.
All right. How far away is he from me?
He is about, let's see, you do 20, you guys are about 30 feet away at this point.
Okay. And Sister Ernestine?
Sister Ernestine, correct.
Ernestine, is she still conscious? Is she looking like she's having a hard time?
She is. She's like down on one knee, panting. It seems that her expenditure of her energies to shield you all from the initial gout of dragon fire not only injured her, but destroyed one of the talismans or the artifacts that she was wearing underneath her vestments. And the sheer force of that power that was expended seemed to draw itself primarily from the sister herself.
Okay. I am going to use healing hands on her.
Okay.
So it's my monk level times 10.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely...
she's fucking healed.
Yeah, she feels a rush come through her, but she is still staggered, as this is almost like a stunned effect, as it's something that she's at the point where, very similar to in Tomb of Annihilation, where we had the death curse that kind of limited and capped the ability of the character to regain lost hit points. Something similar is going on with Sister Ernestine, as she can't heal completely. She's always wasting away. It's almost like a consumption type of sickness.
Right, having to do with the curse. Sister, can you run? Can you get away?
She nods, and she's able to begin kind of moving back. She does not seem affected by the dragon's frightful presence either.
Okay. That's all I'm going to do. I think that's all I can do. That's my action. But I'm going to turn so I'm facing the dragon, but I also want to make sure that I'm aware of where she is moving. And I would like to constantly keep myself between the dragon and her.
Okay. Okay, so you're kind of doggedly acting as a shield to Sister Ernestine as
Until she can get away, yeah.
until she's okay. Yeah, so what we're going to say is we're going to have Sister Ernestine go now, and she's able to move about 25 feet further back, taking her effectively off of the combat screen as it is right now, and away from the dragon. The dragon seems not even to notice her as he's turning and looking at all of you. Do you have anything else you would like to do on your turn, Giddy?
Oh man, I'm like still reading all of the stuff that I can do with chi.
Right.
It's very overwhelming. I don't think that there's anything else that I need to do.
You can spend points and do things on your bonus action if you would like.
Yeah,
some of
but
the
I don't
simpler
think there is anything. Is there?
Oop, did we lose somebody? Oh, we lost
Yeah.
Aris. Okay. She was last in, so I'm not going to touch anything, and hopefully when she comes back, cameras will pop back in. I'm going to see if the social's a little bit better. It's not. Bear with us, everybody. As soon as we get somebody back from internet hells, the cameras should reassert themselves. Yeah, so you can spend a key point, and you would be able to, extend your action, flurry of blows, those types of things. But that would require, a lot of those movements would require you to either break formation as you were guarding Sister Ernestine, or it would cause you, or necessitate you advancing on the dragon. If you would like to do any of those things, please let me know.
No, for now I'm going to stay where I am and try and keep myself between the dragon and the sister. Whether or not I think he's going after her now, I just want to make sure that she's off the field.
Okay. So
And I
you're
shall
kind of
pass my
just
turn. Yeah.
okay. So as the rest of the turn goes, we go to Grey Fox. Grey Fox, what would you like to do? You kind of are limited in the fact that you have to run away, but
Yeah, but let's see. What is the area like around us?
it is a desolate plain. It is filled with ash and soot. It is a wasteland of scorched earth. There are no physical features to the land. There are no trees or rocks or boulders. It is a plain, and with the whipping of the wind, the ash and the soot and the settled sediment is torn up into the air in gusts and low-lying debris fields as it kind of blows, much like a sandstorm on the edge of a desert town. This is the beginning of the valley.
Okay. I just looked at everyone and was like, I don't think we can take this. We need to go. We need to go. And I'm going to run back 40 feet. So that's my max movement. I'm going to take out my bow, which is this like elegant, like wood carved bow, with lots of purple engraved, like webbings on it. And I'm going to try and shoot at the dragon. Let's see here. I'm not going to do sharpshooter. I'm just going to do regular old Shooty McGee.
The old Shooty McGee.
Old Shooty McGee.
14 misses, I'm
Oh.
guessing.
That Shooty McGee is... That McGee did not hunt. That dog needs the...
26.
26 will do it.
Okay, so I get a few things at the start of my turn because of what I am. I get my Dread Ambusher, so it takes an extra 8. My
Okey-dokey.
Kensai weapon, an extra 2, and I'm going to use my Shadow Arrow, which is my Arcane Archer feature. And these are all magical. Even my normal arrows are magical. As it kind of hits the dragon, this like black like shadow just like forms around it. It has to make a DC 15 Wisdom save, or it can't see past 5 feet.
As the dragoon is rolling for shit, I will spend my second legendary action because I already told myself I was going to do it whenever it required it. So the second legendary save is spent as it burns it to avoid this blindness that you are going to put on it. And does that do any additional damage? It's 10 for a shadow
10.
arrow, you say?
10 damage, yeah. So that's 18, 20, 26 so far. 26 so far. Is anyone near it, by the way?
Nobody is near it yet, no. Mr. 7341.
And my last arrow that I get to do because at the start of my turn, because of Dread Ambusher, it's to shoot an additional shot. So 25.
25 does hit.
Nice. So that is 51, I believe. Damage at 1 in 1.
I had you at 38.
38, yeah, was it? Sorry. My bad. I thought I got 25, the first one. Doesn't matter.
38 damage. So you are done, sir. You've made your movement.
And I'm gonna do another. Actually, I'm gonna do because my arcane arrow, I can choose to use it whenever it hits, so it's a choice. And this one's gonna be a grasping arrow. So as soon as this arrow hits, the arrow hits the dragon, but then splinters into these massive like vines, these jagged vines, almost like razor wire, and shoots all around it. And it has to use an action to break out of it. And if it moves 1 foot, it takes 6 damage. But the initial damage is 11.
Initial damage is 11 from the grasping arrow, and as soon as it moves, it takes 6 more.
Yeah, it has to use an action to break out of it.
Okay. And as long as it's in the grasp, what are its detriments to remaining grasped by the arrow?
Nothing.
So
It can move freely. It's just that basically the razor wire digs in every time, so he has to use like an action to break out of it, like an athletics check.
Gotcha. Okay, so that will take us to
So that's what, 40 something now?
49.
49. You're at 49, good sir.
Yeah. And as my
so-
bonus action, sorry, my bonus action,
Oh, he's not done.
my bonus action,
7341, everybody. Everybody just sit back and tell me when it's over.
just as my bonus action, I'm going to spend a key point to dash and move 80 feet back. Well, total, because now that's my total movement.
Okay, so you're technically about 110 feet away from it now with the start of 30.
80 feet, so 240, but it's total. I'm 80 feet back, just so you know.
Okay, but you moved a total of 80 feet in your turn, correct?
Yes,
you went
yes.
40 back when you dash and then 40 more. Okay, so you were already 30 feet away from the dragon when you began your run, so that would put you at 110 feet away from it currently.
Cool.
Just checking.
That
Make
was
sure I know.
really good, Grey Fox. That was really cool. I think you got it.
Yeah, so you see this kind of barrage of 7-3-4-1 shots come in, and as it hits, it multi-classes. And okay, so as you guys are sitting there, it now goes to our druid's turn. But before it is her turn, with Rex is on deck after our druid, you see the creature moves in what normally would have been a tail attack. For a legendary action, it is going to. You said it has to be a strength check.
Like an athletics check. Like the DC is 12, but he has to spend an action or have someone else do it for him. So since he's alone, he has to do it.
Right. I'm not going to do it for him.
He is busting. Okay, so with I'm rolling bad. With a 15, he is able to burst free from it, and what would have been one of his legendary actions is instead in turn used to bust out of this, which gives him another 6 damage. So while we're still technically on the end of that turn, you did 55 points of damage to Pyrecaust, the first flame.
Wah!
Our druid, what would you like to do here?
Okay. As my bonus action, actually, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
The vines and thorns and everything that's around him, what is it covering all of the dragon or just a part of the dragon?
It basically, it's grasping vine just attacks the limbs that are attached to the earth, and he's already flexed and broken free of them. So,
Okay.
yeah, they're splintered on the ground, and as they were magically summoned, they would be magically dispersed, if not
Perfect.
now soon. Yeah.
Okay, so as my bonus action, I'm going to teleport onto the back of the dragon using the hidden pass feature. And then I'm going to cast Earthbind on it.
Okie
So
dokie.
make a strength saving throw, DC 17.
And there we go.
Okay.
As the creature, now feeling its druthers and feeling what Grey Fox has done to it, does not like the fact that there is one of these insignificant flesh sacks now on its back, seemingly trying to commandeer the greatness that is Pyrecaust, the first flame. And as he feels the strength, he just tenses, and the corded muscle beneath the scales, you can see the veins pump with their heated blood. And as he flexes, he's able to disperse it both physically and by force of will.
That's my
What
turn.
else? That's your turn. As she ends on the back of the dragon. Rex, you are afeared. What would you like to do, sir?
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you with this earlier. When we made the wisdom saving throws, but with my aura of courage, technically I can't be frightened. So
Okay.
I didn't want to interject that because like you were kind of on a cool narrative roll, and I was like I didn't want to throw that out. But yeah, no. So I have 3 auras. One is protection, another is devotion, and the other is courage. So anybody within me and anybody within 10 feet of me can't be charmed or frightened. And then with the protection, everybody within 10 feet of me gets like a +4 charisma save. So I didn't know how you wanted to do that. Like just to say like I wasn't
He
afraid.
seemed scary, but not so much now.
Now that
Right,
I've thought
so-
about it.
Yeah, here's what we're gonna do and please make me aware of all of your abilities as I have a lot of things floating around my orbit. So to retcon that a bit, as the narrative suggested, you were all clustered behind Sister Ernestine when she cast the bubble. I am going to say that was well within the 10 feet, and Grey Fox would have been given or at least afforded the ability to be within your 10 feet aura of courage. So instead of being 110 feet away, the attacks will stand that Grey Fox sent, but he is not running, nor is he scared. He is standing at the 30-foot mark. Is that okay?
I still move away. I still move away regardless, by the way.
Okay, never mind then. Everything's perfectly fine. You're just not scared.
Yeah.
Okay, great. There we go. Everything's fine now. Okay, Mr. Paladin, let's see what you got.
All right. So how far? So this thing's flying and baking back towards us. How far away is it from like where I am right now?
It is kind of coming in, and it is roughly. It's not even that far off the ground anymore. It was grasped by the vines as they came in. It's kind of floating and hovering a bit about 30 feet in front of you.
About 30 feet. Okay, I'll go ahead and move the 30 feet up to get right up in its grill, so that it'll focus on me and not the rest of them. But it's still above the ground, like it's not within melee range, correct?
Oh no, the grasping vine brought it down to the point
Oh, it
where
did.
you
It
could.
did fully bring it out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it reached
Okay.
up and grabbed it. You probably have to come in and swipe. It's not landed per se, but
Right.
it's about 8 feet off the ground at this point, so you can definitely get a strike in on it.
Okay, I'll go ahead and take the attack action and make my 2 longsword attacks at it.
Oh, and just speaking of retcons, thanks to chat, because I haven't used this ability before, I can actually only use Arcane Arrow once per turn, so he actually gains the 11 health, and the grasping fine stuff didn't happen. Sorry, thank you, chat, because I'm not aware of it. It was a new class. So
Chat, thank you very much for being on my side. I appreciate it. This GM is against. I'm obviously against 5 tricksters here, everybody, who pocket information and abilities. So, chat, it's us against the world. Let's take the world out. These people around here and on this side. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. So the 11 has been taken off. It's 44 down now. Go ahead and give me your attacks, good Rex.
Alrighty, here's the first one. And here is the second one.
Yeah.
Second one hits.
Okay.
Ooh.
The second one hits. I'll go ahead and pump a 3rd level Divine Smite into that.
Oh, pump it.
And I also have improved Divine Smite, so anytime I hit with a melee, it does an additional 1d8. So I'll
Just give me the damage.
All
Just
right.
give it
What
to
is that?
me.
5d8 on top of the longsword?
Yeah, basically. So it's
Nice.
it'll be 5d on top of the longsword. So the longsword itself does 11 plus 5d8, so that would be an additional 23, so 34.
34 total, correct?
This dragon
Yeah.
is getting it.
Oh yeah, he's on the ropes, guys. Okay, so Rex, do you have anything else you do? You are up and engaged as the dragon is kind of hovering and floating there. Do you want to do anything else?
No, I'm good. I'm right where I want to be right now.
Okay.
I'll take my attacks and I'll get ready for Snagglepuss here.
Okay, so Snagglepuss is going to use a legendary action and no likey paladin as it turns around and with its tail it whips out. And will a 28 hit?
20. It turns out a 28 just hits me. Just barely hits me.
What's your armor class?
It's actually a 20.
Okay, so it hits you for 22 bludgeoning damage as it comes in and just smashes down on top of you as Pyrecaust is almost had forgotten what it's like to get into the fight. And as each little pinprick against it reminds it of the feeble attempts of mortals, it's decided to put you all back in your place. So as we go back to the top of the second round, Billy, what little songs do you have for us this time?
Okay. Well, it was only a so-so dancer, which is disappointing on many levels to me, Greg. So I think she is going to, she plucks something like from her fun coat. It's a crystal vial and it's got kind of a glowing material in it, and she starts to shake it and these colorful lights swirl in front of the dragon's face, and I'm casting hypnotic pattern and I need to
Ooh.
make a wisdom save.
It's a wisdom save for the dragon because hypnotic pattern is no good. Ooh. And with his final legendary save, he will burn that to avoid hypnotic pattern, which sucks.
Yes,
So-
it does.
Yep. So he is
Um.
able to shake it off, but he no longer has the ability to do that, as you veteran players know.
I still feel really good about that. It looked like it was working for a second. So I'm going to use my bonus action. Where's Sister Ernestine? Is she doing? Where are you?
She's off the field.
Right?
She's off the field. Yeah, she's
Okay.
currently off the field.
Cool. So I will inspire Giddy. Not with the song because I do not sing. Hit it! Just go. Hit it!
I've taken a vow of nonviolence.
No! No, you haven't! No! Can you please hit it? You have inspiration. It's a D12.
I feel so inspired. I will now think about my vow.
Okay. Billy, do you have anything else you'd like to do?
I'll keep moving. Don't like clumps.
Okay.
I want to stay within 60 feet. So I want to be 60 feet out. To this.
Okay. Fantastic. And what I would like everybody to do at this point is, if you are within 25 feet of the beast, which is our druid and our paladin, please deduct 20 hit points from your current total, as the heat that is radiating off of this creature is almost unbearable as Rex's armor is beginning to not necessarily glow, but the leather trappings that kind of connect one plate to the next is smoking and smoldering. You can smell the leather cooking as you sit there and you realize your own flesh is doing the same. Kaylee, as you are on top, you can feel, it feels as if you are straddling like a large boulder-sized coal. This creature is an inferno encased inside some type of nearly indestructible scale. And as the creature turns, it almost ignores you as it launches a series of attacks at somebody it can't quite stand. And that's Rex. So it reaches.
This is fine. This is fine.
Yes,
Okay, that's a
dragon.
natty 1, so he definitely misses that, even though it ends up being an 18.
Wow.
Pay no
and
mind
then-
to the druid on your back.
It takes a claw to Rex for a 19. Does that hit you, Rex?
Does not.
And it reaches back for the druid with its last claw attack, which is a 26.
Yeah, that hits.
Who is that
For
after?
7. That was for Kaylee for 17 slashing damage as it reaches back and rakes her. Doesn't necessarily move you from your perch, but it just rakes you with its claws. The claws themselves seeming to be superheated as they cut through your flesh. And that is just about all it's going to do until it begins to climb. And it takes off into the air, druid on its back, as it launches in for its movement of 40 feet up. So as it climbs 40 up, it kind of lords over you, and it seems like it's going to begin to circle again, but it has reached the end of its movement with its ascent. And that is going to take us to Giddy.
Okay, well, I don't have any ranged weapons. I will cast Sanctuary on myself. And because I think I can only cast it on myself. Yeah, okay. So I cast Sanctuary on myself. And it lasts 8 hours.
You are sanctuaried.
Woo! Well, it says a creature that succeeds on the save is immune to this effect. So does that mean I can cast it on other people?
You can cast Sanctuary on other people.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it's because I have Path of Tranquility, which says you can cast Sanctuary spell on yourself, but then in the next line it says its saving throw equals 8 plus proficiency plus wisdom, a creature that succeeds, which makes it sound as if I can cast it on someone else.
You have to do a wisdom. The creature has to do a save not to hit you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Otherwise,
okay.
yeah, it basically decides, I shouldn't be doing this.
Okay.
And that's the effect of the sanctuary spell. So yeah, for you it's on yourself because I believe it's a part of your tradition. Otherwise, it would say it acts as the sanctuary spell, which would enable you then to cast it on other people. If it's a feat, it usually kind of the wording is a little bit different if it's just for you.
Okay, so sorry guys, but I cast it on myself. Actually, should we run?
I thought we were fighting it.
Should we run?
Yeah,
Should we run?
like it's going pretty well.
Okay. Thanks for the inspiration, but there's nothing I can do.
Just hold on to it. It'll last for 10 minutes. It's fine.
Wait, there is something I want to do. I want to make Rex invisible.
You want to make Rex invisible?
Yeah, because he seems to be taking a beating.
Okay.
I'm gonna
cast
take out- I'm gonna take out
Okay.
my little my little powder. You said I had 8 uses, and I'm gonna go Rex. I'm gonna throw powder in his face. Stay
Okay.
alive.
No matter what occurs, I will find you. So as
Protect the sister.
right. You know, Brew, I love the fact that you're here because you're the only one old enough to get like half the shit I say. So I
know,
appreciate
right?
it.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the dust of disappearance applied to Brew, Rex disappears.
Nice.
Don't anybody in chat spoil the surprise. Okay, so as we leave Giddy, we go to Grey Fox. Grey Fox, what would you like to do?
I'm kind of standing there, like he's always running. So it's like run to the left, run to the right, kind of like trying to get a read on what's happening. The soot that was around is just kind of flying up around his foot, around his feet as he's kind of like just trudging through the area. He sees the dragon like rise up, and he's just going to like take aim and do like long shots trying to aim it. But I have plenty of I have plenty of range, and because I have sharpshooter, I don't have any penalties for long range, and my range is 600 feet.
That's a hell of a pull in a longbow, by the way. But
Yeah, my elven eyes.
that hits, buddy.
Nice, and because we have a person on top of him, let's get sneak attack.
I knew it. I knew you were going for sneak attack. There's got to be a rogue in there somewhere.
And sneak. And then this
We got
time,
3 of them.
I am gonna do the grasping arrow. I'm gonna put that in chat as well, so you can actually read it because I have all of the descriptions. But his movement is reduced to 10 feet, by the way, not normal, but 10 feet, unless he uses his action to break free.
Okay. So, reduce to 10 feet. So as he's flying, these things again wrap around him. He is going to... it's not a... Yeah, he's going to spend an action to take them off, but is it the...
7 first and then 10 after, if he moves.
Right. So yeah, give me all the total damage before we...
I get 2 shots first, though. So it's move a shot. 28. And then... Sneak. Kenzai. No, 1. Okay, so the total for that so far is 16, 17, 18, 20. Let's see. 18. This is 9.
You only get sneak attack on your first attack, Holmes.
No, a sneak attack is on each attack.
It's once a turn.
It's once
Is it?
per
Once
turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez, I
Yeah,
don't.
so you can do it on your opportunity attacks as well,
Jesus
as we
Christ.
discovered.
You can see I don't play like hitters. What is hitters?
What
but
are
yeah,
these physical
so-
damages?
And then I want to use action surge to do it to hit again.
Ah!
5.
Oh,
That's
no!
gonna miss.
It's a 19 hit.
No.
No,
So that's a
fuck.
total of... I had 33 damage. Is that what everybody else had?
I
Yeah.
have him at he's taken 119. I don't know if that's right. Something like that.
Yeah. Just the first
I-
sneak attack. Don't add the second one. Oh, the Ken side does.
Yeah, I have 111 then,
Okay.
if that
Cool.
helps you all out. So do you have anything else you would like to do, Grey Fox?
No, just kind of move 40 feet around again, just like around it. I'm gonna do my bonus action now, my Kensai, and just do patient defense. And just kind of like put my bow down, so if he comes to like attack me, he has like disadvantage.
Gotcha. Okay, so we have patient defense currently on as you are maintaining this kind of like 110 foot buffer between you and the others. And as that is coming through, he is going to spend a legendary action not to attack, but to break free, which gives him that additional 6 points. Is that what you said?
No, if he's not moving, then he doesn't get it.
He's going to use an action to bust it right now.
Yeah, I mean, he has to like move. If he uses an action, he doesn't take harm from it.
Oh, okay. But you said he had to expend an action to
Mhm.
extricate himself from it, correct?
Yes.
So that's what he's
But,
doing. He's using one of his legendary actions to do so. So if that is additional damage for him to free himself, what would that be?
No,
Did you say
it's not additional damage to free himself. It's only if he moves.
Okay.
If he breaks free, there's no damage.
Okay, so he does that to break free, and that takes us to the druid's turn. As Aris, you are now on the back of this burning creature. What would you like to do?
Okay, I would like to cast Blight on it.
Okay.
So, make a
Con.
yes, Constitution save, DC 17.
Motherfucker. Boy, oh boy. Roll 20. Thank you so much. I blame Eric Vulgaris, everybody. That son of a bitch.
Greg,
Works
make
for
sure
roll
you're
20
rolling
now.
the save too, by the way.
I am.
And not, oh, okay.
Don't tell him that. He just rolled a natural 1.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
just
not
to
gonna-
re-roll it.
It's not gonna help regardless of what I'm
No.
right. So
All right. So you
Okay.
take 35 necrotic damage.
okay, so 35
You
necrotic.
take it, Greg, not the dragon.
Yeah, you take it.
I only have like 8 hit
Great.
points, so
Oh man, I'm sorry. I just accidentally killed you on stream. You know, that happens a lot.
don't worry, I'm not dead yet. Neither is Pyrecaust. So, as he is blighted and certain areas beneath you as you are riding this dragon begin to creep out with this black mold around the scale, and it reaches down and absolutely kind of the heat disperses a bit as this rot kind of takes hold underneath of you, and while the radiation is still coming off, directly beneath you, it feels a little bit better. So let's go to Rex as you are invisible, and you
hold
turn.
on just 1 second.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry. I'm getting a hold of myself.
I'm also going to use a key point to use patient defense as well as a bonus action.
Okie dokie.
Monks in the house.
Yep. Everybody's a monk. And that's it.
Alrighty, so as this happens and as we go around to the top of the next round, as
No, you
Pyrecaust
skip
is...
Rex.
Oh, Rex, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rex. See, I
He's
said
invisible.
Rex
You
and
didn't
then
see him.
I didn't see him. Rex, go ahead, brother.
You all right. So this thing, I was in melee with it, but now it's 40 feet above me, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. And I'm invisible. Sister Ernestine is nowhere to be found.
She's just
Correct.
chilling.
Well,
I'm
she's
like-
just like a
She's
slight
right there.
Yes,
range
for,
away.
yes, for lack of a better understanding, she has moved out of the battlefield. So if
Okay.
there's a protective, you've got Giddy who's kind of standing in front of her, protecting her at a distance. So
Okay.
keeping herself in between. But other than that, Sister Ernestine has managed to kind of clear the field.
Okay. In that case, let me see. Where is would you say that Giddy and Billy and Gray Fox are within 30 feet of me?
No, Gray Fox
No.
is definitely hell and gone from
Greg Fox
Cartagena.
is like
Okay.
250 feet away.
Yeah.
All right.
I would say that Billy and Giddy are within 30 feet from you.
Okay, Billy and Giddy are 30 feet from me. I'm going to cast Bless on them.
Thanks.
So technically it's up to 3 creatures, but since there's only 2 around me, so whenever they make an attack roll or saving throw for the next minute, unless I take damage and it goes away, they can add a D4 to their attack roll or saving throw.
Gotcha.
All right, and so I'll do that, and then I guess I'll try to move closer if I can, like reposition myself somewhere where I can be maybe a little closer to Billy and to Giddy. because I'm not really sure where the dragon is going to attack next, but I kind of want to be, I'm trying to like look up and guesstimate where I think maybe it's going. So I'll just try to spend as much movement as I can to try to get closer to them.
Okay, yeah, you can pull like basically right beside them. And so as you pull right beside them, you are 3 in a row. I had the hell scared out of me when somebody just subscribed. So thank you for subscribing. That hatchet sound that comes down is terrifying. And I have my volume pumped up so I can hear stuff. And I'll tell you what, Shane would have loved it because he would have gotten a million hits on this because I'd have fallen over dead. And you guys have been trying to revive me as I'm scared the shit out of me. Holy hell. I'm tired and punch drunk. Okay, whatever. So yeah, the Company of the Hand, or at least 3 of them, are able to reform here on this blasted wasteland. As Rex, you move up, and even though Giddy and Billy can't actually see you, the puff falls in the silty ash around kind of move up as you're standing there, and you watch as Pyrecaust kind of banks and comes back around. The druid's still on his back, and from this distance you can see a blackness creeping around the neck of the beast as it moves in and seems to reassert itself as it dives towards the 3 of you. But before we do anything like that, we are going to go back several days to the Citadel. As we end round 2 and begin round 3 of combat, I think the first 2 rounds are decidedly in the favor of the Company of the Hand, as Pyrecaust is getting his ass handed to him, and so is Greg. Thank you, Roll20. So, as we dive back into the Citadel and what's happened with the Citadel over the course of days prior, you guys were just approached by Lord Homer, who told you that Sister Ernestine needed to take you all to the shrine that would serve as presumably the entrance to the Valley of Soot Skull. Before you can leave, though, you have the option of being outfitted with whatever is at Lord Homer's disposal, but the Citadel itself is preparing for siege. It is preparing for war. It is a place of commotion and concern. So a lot of the foodstuffs, a lot of the water that you saw being barreled and put inside the keep itself, their rations are few, but what they have, they will surely give you, as your mission takes precedence over just about anything else. Also, Lord Homer is going to need to provide or perform the Liege Blessing. And as the Liege Blessing is given to your group, Sister Ernestine, you all need to be in the space with the Lord. Reynard will not be there. It'll simply be your company, and it will be Sister Ernestine. So is there anything you would like to do before we delve into the Liege Blessing?
Do we get to say goodbye to Reynard?
Reynard's still there. He's just not a part of the blessing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll see him after then. Okay. No, this seems... So what's exactly involved in this, Holmesy?
I simply cast a blessing. It's involved. It's an ancient tradition. It's a formality, a part of a ceremony that we usually reserve for men on their deathbed, men that have served the crown. We pass on their support and their umbrage by giving my blessing when they pass on to the next life.
I mean, I don't plan on dying anytime soon. Does anyone plan on dying anytime soon?
I doubt we're going to fight anything too outrageous. It's a simple escorting mission, yes?
Should be a
Nothing
walk in the park.
remarkable in the Valley of Soot Skull, especially if the rumors are true and Pyrecaust is real.
What? Who? What? What's that?
I don't know much, only some things that I read, some things that Yaza would tell me. It was a dragon, something hideous that guarded something that people thought was only a fairy tale.
A dragon.
Doesn't sound that bad.
Sounds pretty bad, but what do I know?
I don't know. I don't know you that well. But I'm excited to get to know you.
Lord Homer, do you have any more information on this valley? I know that it would all be folktale, but anything that you would have might prove useful if I could study it.
I have sent away the court bard. Perhaps his writings and the writings of his predecessors might hold something. You, of course, can have access to his chambers. He left most of it behind.
What's his name? Have I heard of him? Who is he? What's his name?
He called
Popular?
himself. He called himself Angel.
Did he? Did he now? Wow. Okay.
It's
Okay.
very, on the
Great.
nose.
You have heard of Angel. You do not have to roll anything. Angel is
How
the
is that?
he is the court bard of Lord Holmar, and he is just what his name suggests.
Oh my. Oh.
He is not here though. I know you're
More
very upset.
flowery
he-
language.
And
Great.
he looks like Rock Hudson.
Oh.
I don't like him. So,
Where is Angel's room?
Ugh, God, can we call him something else,
I
please?
have someone take. He snaps his fingers, and someone comes over. They appear
Is
to
it
be.
Jeffries?
It is not Jeffries. It is a younger man that appears to be as part of the servants as well. But where before he probably just wore a tunic or a loose robe, he now has like a heavy leather jerkin of armor on, and you can see that he is like awkwardly kind of adjusting it as everybody is preparing for siege.
I'll go with you, Giddy.
Yes, of course.
I take out my red editing ink and quill and get ready to go. He's terrible.
I think we should leave his quarters untouched.
No, I'm just holding this. This is just something I hold sometimes. Thinking about a tattoo, like a henna tattoo. I'm not going to do anything with this in his room. Definitely.
You can do one on me.
I will when I get back from not correcting all of his research. Because it's
I think I'll come with you. This sounds great.
great. Come on. Yeah. Guilt trip.
While they do that, Greg, I'm because we were offered whatever we would need equipment wise, so forth.
I got a
I'll,
list.
Yeah, I'm just going to take enough rations for a week, but I'm going to donate the last 10 gold that I have, so that they can help, better put that money to use, like feeding more refugees and whatnot.
Fantastic. And so as you give this money to kind of like the quartermaster, whoever would be kind of in charge with the disbursement of these goods, you see that the money is almost immediately handed out to families as they are kind of just cycling through the Citadel at this point. This is no longer a way station. This is simply a move along, you don't want to be here. And so the money is quickly gone, but it seems that you have made the lives of these refugees easier if they are able to make it somewhere south.
Greyhawk walks over to the Lord. You spoke of money. A good few hawks, you said?
That's correct.
I would like that as well.
All I need you to do is to follow Sister Ernestine to the shrine. There, Reynard will give you 10,000. You may leave, or you may enter, but I ask only that you go to the shrine. And drop a pen if you can.
I want that gold. And I want you to deliver it to this address. And I get like a piece of parchment and I write it down. And I hand it to him and then I stop and I say, oh no, that money doesn't get there.
It'll get there. But you must get to the shrine. As soon as I hear confirmation that you've been there, whether or not you proceed with this company, that is up to you. But as soon as you make it to the shrine, this money will make it to this address.
Here's the name as well. Don't ask any questions. I don't want the court to do anything, but simply say a gift for the litter.
Oh my
Gift
god,
for
how many
Lita.
kids do you have?
What? Who said that?
Where's that coming from?
I don't know. You have ghosts?
These damn gnomes, they sneak up on you. You never look that far down. Right? Okay, so he agrees. And do you have anything else you would like to do, Gray Fox, as we...
No, just get enough rations as I see fit.
Okay, you guys are able to equip yourselves. And as we spoke in the green room, you have the option of taking 1 superior or 3 of the, what did I say? The graders. Yeah, so you can take 3 graders or 1 superior.
Got it.
Okay, so let's cut back up to Billy, Kaylee, and Giddy as you all get to Angel's room. You know where it is even before the young boy points it out because it smells a bit like lavender. And it gets, the scent begins to, it kind of becomes oppressive the closer you get. And when the door opens, it's almost nauseating, both the smell and the gaudiness of the decor inside. Nothing matches. And everything seems to be coated in some type of velvet.
Oh,
Is this
God,
how,
this is tacky.
yes,
is this
Thank
how
you.
all live?
Ugh.
No, look at me. Look at me. No, I'm eclectic. He is tacky. There's a difference. Okay? And I'm a good writer. And he's a bad writer. And he has a stupid name. I'm also
I
better
feel he
looking.
has
Like
too many
way,
pillows.
way better looking. I mean, I'll take that pillow. That one looks kind of comfy. So I might take that with us.
How many
Um,
scrolls and books are in the room?
Yeah, what's in there?
As soon as you walk in, you see that there are about 8 shelves full of very thick tomes. Some of them appear very old, as if they had been written by previous bards, as was suggested by Lord Homer. There is also a network of crisscrossed boards that make up an X'd type of scroll tube case, and you see no fewer than like 8 scrolls in each little cubby as they kind of filter down. There does not seem, well, in a way there seems to be some type of categorization system, but it looks as if whoever was the most recent inhabitant of this place forego whatever system was there in place and kind of mixed up everything. And as you all walk in, the young boy that's with you, he says, "This is Master Angel's chambers," as he opens and lets you in. And as you all walk in, you don't realize it until you're actually in the chambers of Angel and look to the right that there is probably a 5-foot wide by 10-foot tall portrait of Angel.
Oh my god.
According to this portrait, he is
No.
devastatingly handsome.
That is a lie. That is
He-
not what his nose looks like, and his chest is like half that wide.
He
Do you know this bard?
Yes. Yes. He sucks.
Yes, he looks rugged. It's as if he has a bit of a, almost like a squint to him. If you know, you would think that if this were a character, he might be popular. He might be a good actor to portray like a vampire, you know, with this kind of brooding look, with the eyes that are sort of, thank you, chat, with the eyes that are sort of narrowed a bit. And whereas maybe a vampire of a more modern time would have a shorter haircut, this particular bard, his hair is flowing as if it's caught in both a tornado and a strong gale, as it perfectly spirals down his left shoulder as he's turned into that left shoulder with a bit of a lead to it. And as he's looking forward, you can actually see that reflected in the portrait's eyes. It seems as if there are angels in his irises, and they seem to be cheering and clapping. So it looks as if he is playing towards a heavenly host, and that they are very, very enthralled with the bard known as Angel. He is also naked from the waist up, and his chest is massive.
Is he a human?
Yes, he looks as if he is human, but otherworldly. He is human, yet divine.
So he looks, this portrait looks like it's been cut from the cover of a romance novel, essentially.
Well, now don't tell Angel that, but yes, it does. In that it looks as if, if you put this and it said, Plains of Lust underneath him or something like that, that you would just nod and say, yes, this is the Plains of Lust.
I'm going to approach the painting, and I'm going to very tentatively touch the belly of it and be like,
no,
is this what you all look like shirtless?
Have you ever seen a man before?
That is not what I look like shirtless. I'm stacked. Do not look like that.
Giddy, when you touch the stomach, you don't know how this works, but it's rock hard.
Okay.
I thought it doesn't give at all.
Okay. Kiddo, you, little boy, where'd he go?
He was ordered to leave.
That makes so much sense. I tip him.
I think
thank
we
you.
Split up the duties here. It looks like we have a lot of books to get through.
Yeah.
Most likely anything that we're looking for will be in the older tombs, so we may just want to focus our effort on this shelf.
Kaylee's already got a book open. She's flipping through it.
Do I see any of my books in here, Greg?
Why don't you roll a perception check to see if you can capture the spine in your eye?
27.
Yep, there's one.
Ha! That's right. Okay.
I want to look for any books that seem to be about local lore, folklore, any type of anthologies of myth.
Okay, it seems that more of what's going on is these are almost historical segments, as especially in the past, as Billy can explain to you, the bards were the recorders of the realm, and so normally they didn't focus so much on what took place before their time, as they kind of left that task to who would then be the court bard, but they but they instead focused more on their time. So it's almost like you have to pick the right one. They might deal with similar topics. There might be mentions of Pyrecaust in every one, as each of them kind of dealt with it in their time. But going back to the beginning, or at least finding the oldest one, is a viable theory.
Would I have any idea of a time frame based on what I've read about Pyrecaust?
From what you've been told, and from your own scrolls at the monastery, and from the own teachings, if you were able to go back around 300 years, you might be able to at least be in the same time period and time frame as your monastery.
All right, that's what I do. I start looking at the 300-year-old tomes.
Okay, so anybody that's looking for specifically Pyrecaust information, roll me an investigation check and let me know what you find.
Why are we looking for Pyrecaust information again? I mean, besides that it's a cool name.
Because we'll run into him at some point.
Cool. 24.
Nice, and a nat 20.
Mhm.
Okay, so over the course of about an hour and a half or 2 hours, as you are all sitting there, several things happen. You all find similar information that marks Pyrecaust as a first. Some of the earlier mentionings of him, as far as like 150, 200 years back, mentioned Pyrecaust almost the same way that the boogeyman would be used. You know, make sure you pick up your clothes or Pyrecaust will get you. And it's sort of similar. Do your chores or Pyrecaust will get you. And as those things kind of filter down, the farther back you go, you realize that the root to these type of childhood threats comes from at least some point of fact, as Pyrecaust begins to be associated more closely with the Valley of Soot Skull. And all of you come upon similar information as it's recounted in the bards of 300 years ago and prior. Pyrecaust is said to be the guardian of the Valley of the Soot Skull, and that the valley itself is housed of several tests, and that Pyrecaust is the first of those tests.
Good. Cool.
And
Is there anything
with the-
about like what the test will be? Are they going to be like riddles? Are they going to be like fashion shows?
I love fashion shows.
my God, it's a fashion show. How the hell did you figure this out? My notes
We
say
would
right
win.
here.
We
fashion
would
show.
win. Like, you don't even have to roll, Greg. We win.
I can't roll anyway. So yeah, you guys do. Okay, so what ends up happening here is, as you guys are going back, the mentions of any test beyond Pyrecaust, they're mentioned generically. That the valley has additional tests, but it is as if there aren't any type of records as to what these tests are or have been experienced. There's no mentions in the fairy tales beyond Pyrecaust. Don't Pyrecaust will get you. You know, there's no mentions of mystical fairy or fashion shows that will leave you feeling less than what you are if you don't do your chores.
Any
Work,
numbers?
bitch.
Any
Yeah, any
numbers of
numbers.
tests? That like
Some of them say many. A few of them say several.
Okay.
But it seems to be an ambiguous figure no matter what. It seems to be an ambiguous figure. You can look at me all you want, but
I wasn't looking at you.
also, because of the nat 20, we're going to have Giddy, as you kind of open one of the oldest tomes, you pull open the book, and there, in almost like an illuminated Bible type of rendering, you see a picture of Pyrecaust, the First Flame. And it's very dramatic and very edgy, and almost has what would be in our world as like an Asian element to it, as the body is very long and the neck is very long and it creeps down, and the face almost looks like a tribal mask in a way, as it angles and breaks and seems more two-dimensional than three, as instead of a snout, the snout doesn't go out but it goes long, almost like a beard with the mouth lower. And underneath of it, written in a very ancient form of writing for the Shieldlands, it reads Pyrecaust, the First Flame.
I turn the book to everyone and I go, look, I found him.
Autistic license is so fun.
Well, he looks like a party.
So do
So
we
we
have
know
to
we'll have to go against him first.
fight him? Do we have to talk to him? I'm really good with my mouth.
I've heard.
You have. Maybe
Rumors fly.
maybe you'll witness it for yourself one day.
I think we should tell the two other ones, the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go tell the boys.
Oh wait, real quick. I want to cast detect magic in this room as a ritual.
Okay, so you take 10 minutes to do so?
Yes, I do.
It's not quite
Okay.
quick then.
Mm-mm.
Right.
I'll
so,
be there in like 11 minutes.
No, I'm gonna stay. You said real quick, so I'm just waiting.
Great, good.
Oh yeah, Kaylee's still flipping through books. She found something interesting.
It's porn.
So you guys were leaving.
Oh.
You heard detect magic, which is music to all casters' ears, as is it coupled with ritual, which means that they can do it in 10 minutes. So after a 10-minute ritual, the entire room begins to glow a bit,
Oh no.
but there is a very strong glow from the painting.
No. What school of magic is it, Greg?
It appears to be illusory.
Okay. You touched it. Nothing happened.
I
don't know.
felt disgust.
I get disgusted as a free action.
I get that. If I I don't know, if I touch around it, I'll use my quill. If I touch around it, does it go through it at all?
Roll a perception check for me.
Okay. Just 15.
That's all you needed. As you're moving around, you notice that there are elements of this painting that your quill does slip through, particularly around the chest, the chin, and the crotch region.
Glory holes.
I'm done.
Oh my god. Oh my god. We need to leave. We need to leave now. I want to go from this place now. And throw
You
up a
seem
little.
to be very upset
I
by
just-
this painting.
I'm nauseated. Is there like a bucket? Is there a bucket around?
Kaylee has become very intrigued in this painting and
No,
what could
okay,
be
fine.
behind
Put your hand right there. Put your hand
Yeah,
right there.
she's gonna investigate the whole thing.
Just put your hand through. Trust me.
Does my hand go through?
No, it stops about like a quarter of an inch. Like you see it kind
Okay.
of go through the, and
Too
it
bad.
stops. There's no hole behind any of these elements that I mentioned. There's no chin hole, no chest hole, no crotch hole. It's as if there's something covering these areas, and your fingers kind of just slip about a quarter of an inch in, and then hit that hard surface behind.
I kind of wanna.
I'm gonna fondle the painting as suggested by someone in the chat.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
I was gonna
Hold.
in and
Giddy,
Hold
you
on.
look over.
get in
Giddy,
there.
as Giddy begins to manipulate and fondle the painting, she
I'm
looks
definitely
over.
crotch level just based on how short I am.
Okay, so you're fondling the
Kaylee,
crotch of the
take
painting.
chest level.
As the manipulations begin of the painting, Giddy, you look over to the windowsill, and a little sparrow sitting there, and it looks forlornly and shakes its head as it sees what Giddy is doing. And you
I take
see
my
it just
hand back and I go to the window.
it seems distraught, and you just see it kind of slowly and sadly spiral around the outside of the key.
I was just investigating.
Okay, fine. Just for the satisfaction, I cast a spell magic on it.
As soon as you cast a spell magic on it, the chin weakens,
Yes,
the chest grows smaller, and the bulge significantly reduces inside the pants.
Yes. Yes. That was satisfying.
He's still very handsome.
No, he's not.
Just not as handsome. He's definitely lost a couple points of charisma.
I feel so
Ah.
much better. There's no other magic in here. This place sucks.
Well,
It sounds like we all found what we were looking for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Okay,
did.
so you guys are going to quit Angel the Bard's room.
Yeah,
I think
so.
we're done.
I think we did what we came to do here.
Your work is done.
Yeah. Whew.
Time to leave now, ladies. Okay. So as you guys leave the area, you can meet back up with Rex and Grey Fox, and as soon as you are ready, which time is of the essence, as 2 hours have passed, Lord Homer is ready to bestow his liege blessing.
Do it.
Okay, so you guys are ready to go. So what we're gonna do is to reset from Angel the Bard, the Fondling, the Penitent, and
We're
Forlorn
very
Sparrow.
serious role players here.
Right, we are going to take our break of the evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Greyhawkians of all ages, we'll be back in 5 minutes as we reset, regroup, and prepare for the Liege Blessing Ritual. We'll be right back. Well, hello everybody. We're back after our little break here, as everybody's cooled off, gotten a drink. It was just they explained to me exactly what the term glory hole meant. I don't know. I had no idea. It was interesting that our monk came up with that one, but I'm shook a bit. So let's take this time now to go to the Liege Blessing, as Lord Homer takes the group into his private citadel, or his private chapel inside the citadel. And after several kind of cages of incense are lit by the resident kind of priest of the family, the priest leaves, Sister Ernestine comes in, and you are all invited to sit on the now vacant floor of the chapel. The pews and the chairs that had been in here before have been taken, and their wood used to either reinforce doors or to add additional protection to interior fortifications. So as he turns around, he begins to chant a very low, almost inaudible hum, as it is a blessing of the liege to the group before him. And as he is speaking and offering luck and offering protection and offering the strength and honor and blood of the land, it's a repetitive drone that goes and goes. And as the incense begins to swirl, each of you kind of give into it in your own particular way. And before you all know it, you are experiencing things very differently. As we are going to start with Kaylee, I would like you to take a wisdom saving throw, if you would please. Okay, so as you kind of shake off this, you feel your mind kind of it dulls and kind of pulls like cotton. And as you look around, you realize you're no longer sitting in the chapel in the citadel. You are sitting around impossibly green grass. You see a picture-perfect sky, on one side lit with the blues of midday, and on the other with the purples and blacks and deep blues of dusk. And you know immediately that this is the Feywild. And as you look around and experience this place that you know so well, you see your buddy, the Satyr Arrow, as he says, "Why should you help these mortals?"
Well, that's the right thing to do, right?
The right thing to do? You could die.
I could die any day. That's the fun of life.
There's no fun in death. Not for these people
but
you've just met.
it's another adventure.
Adventures are fun. Adventures are stacked in our favor. You know this.
True. Well, this is another adventure as well.
And what are you
What's that?
calling yourself now?
I've been named Kaylee now. Fits me for now. Though I've seemed to worn the shine off of it a bit.
I'm glad you kept the hair.
Well, I couldn't figure out how to change it back, so kind of stuck with it.
He laughs as if he knows that you had to keep it. Make another wisdom saving throw for me, please. Okay, this time as he looks at you, the face of the fawn becomes a bit more serious as it drops, and on one of his kind, when there's not a perpetual smile or some type of flute or musical instrument or pipe that's occupying his face, a drop of a smile, even though he's not frowning, becomes sinister, as if this is something that his ilk shouldn't do. And it's almost as if when attempting it, it causes him pain. I can't have you die on some mad, foolish quest.
Well, what would you have me do?
Leave these people. You owe them nothing. Go back to your woods. Come back here.
That place wasn't right for me. I haven't found my home, but I'm not going to let this one be destroyed for these people.
So idealistic. And what will you do if you survive and get this power this Lord speaks of?
I don't know. I don't think I would want any sort of power like that. I don't know. Perhaps find a good place and enrich the land, continue traveling, help others.
That sounds so boring.
I've had a lot of fun so far. It only gets better from here, right?
His sinister frown turns back into a smile. Well, if you die, I shall sing of you. But if you live, come back and see Old Arrow, will you?
Of course. I'll find a way back.
He steps back and he begins to swirl in smoke as the chapel forms around you. You get a D8 of inspiration from your moment with Arrow.
Awesome. Thank you.
Billy, make a charisma saving throw for me, please.
Okay. 22.
Again, as it was with Kaylee, you are transported somewhere else, somewhere beyond the chapel inside the doomed citadel. And as you look around, instead of a beautiful Feywild that Billy would have no idea Kaylee is experiencing, you see a very dark place. Lightless. Your sense of smell is more acute. You sense shapes, hear breath. And as you're kind of trying to orient yourself, you hear breathing into seemingly both of your ears at once. The amulet has served you well. Your taste is weak, but I still feed.
Fuck off, mate. She is, I don't know if she has any sense of her body, but she is shaking despite her vitriol.
You know I can't leave you. I do not wish you to do this path you have chosen.
Well, too bad for you, because I'm very willful.
And what if you die?
I'm gonna fucking live forever.
I hope so, for I am very hungry. Roll another charisma saving throw for me, please.
21.
I will promise you this. If you die in some realm that I can touch, I will drink all of you.
Well, I'll always thought you were thirsty. That was a good one.
That was
And-
really good.
As it begins and the smoke swirls and you find yourself back in the chapel in the Citadel, you get a D12 for your inspiration. Rexarian,
No. Woo.
roll a charisma saving throw for me.
Rex.
Rex, as you are sitting there and again the swirl encompasses you, you realize that while you were in one position a moment ago, you are in another now, as you have taken a knee in a chapel that is not the one in the Citadel. You have committed to a suicide mission, my disciple. You recognize the voice of Samaria Highmantle, the one who trained you.
You were the one that taught me that moments like this are what we train for, that we must be willing to lay down our lives for a greater purpose. There are so many people suffering right now. I have no choice but to go forth in service.
I understand, but I think only of you and the service that you have done. I fear that you are going somewhere where the light does not reach. Roll another charisma saving throw for me. You feel a touch as your head is down as you've taken this knee, and knowing where to kind of press and apply pressure to plate mail, you can feel the weight of this woman's hand on your shoulder through your armor as she kind of lets you know that she is there in as reassuring a way as she can through your vestments. And you hear her say, "And if your soul is lost in some untethered realm, what of Veneria? She awaits you, my disciple. What if you cannot reach her?"
It's the one thing that I want more than anything else, to be reunited with her, but I can't think of myself right now. I still must think of others. You taught me that.
It appears I did an admirable job, as she stutters and cannot speak. And you again feel the pressure on the neck as the one that taught you, your mentor, says her goodbye in as much as she can, and the smoke swirls, and you are away from that chapel and into the one in the Citadel. Gray Fox, make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
All right. 9.
Okay, so again, as this smoke fills the area and as Lord Homer's chanting kind of encapsulates your senses, you kind of regain your body and your ability to perceive, and you are surrounded by masked figures. At first, what you think to be a semicircle is a full circle with you in the center, and behind them you see the shadows of orcs and drow, almost without number, as it seems to be some darkened host. And as you look at them, one of the masked figures steps forward and says, "Do you think some noble quest will free you from us? from your debts.
I'm not after a noble quest. It's a means to an end, as always. The money will help. The idea is interesting. And it'll be fun. You come to me so brazenly. You're brave.
Why have you not sought us out, if you are so bold in our presence?
Because you're not my enemy anymore. None of you are. If you don't
I
have to,
could say the same.
if you wish to live by old grudges, I understand. I did monstrous things. But you have your life. Attack me. Any of you. And you won't.
Do you truly believe even you will see us coming, Grey Fox? Make another dexterity saving throw for me, please.
What's that bird over there?
It seems to be some type of sparrow. What? Oh, I've been... The scales swing, Grey Fox. Not in your favor. If or when you return, we will come for you. And that will be the final page of your story. And the smoke begins to swirl.
I knew I was going to fail. I was like, everyone's doing so well. And then me.
No inspiration comes to you in the form of your encounter. Rex, you did get a D8 of inspiration if I failed to mention it. Giddy, make a dexterity saving throw for me, please. Let me scroll down on my notes for a second.
The time zone. The time zone, that's what it is.
All right.
Right. Roll 20 is getting our EU people. All right, so Giddy, as you experience this as well, and there is the swirl, as you look up, you are back at the monastery on the hilltop. Everything is colder. And when you look around, even though you've only been gone for a few days, the monastery itself is in disrepair. Stones have begun to fall from the angles of the roof. Weeds have cracked through the paths. The grass is high and in some places brown, lapping against the buildings as the roofs themselves seem to have given way to the elements, staining the interior. Windows are broken. And as you look at this place that was your home for the entirety of most of the life that you can remember, you hear behind you, at the base of your head, "It's just a place. Before the monks, it was grass, dirt, and rock. After them, it will be grass, dirt, and rock. As it should be."
As it should be. Do you have any idea the things that went on in this monastery? The knowledge that was shared? To say that it should be grass and rock? I
That
can't
knowledge still
accept that.
exists. You have the knowledge now. You are the building.
I'm not ready to be a building.
And yet you are.
Who are you?
The sparrow hops up on your shoulder. A friend.
Why? Why are you helping me?
because you need a friend.
I do. I remember when I was little, I always asked Yaza if I could have a little brother or sister. I always really wanted a friend.
I will be your little sister.
It's not quite what I was imagining, but I'm happy to have you.
And it kind of hops up a little bit to the bend in your neck where muscle of shoulder hits muscle of neck, and it for a moment, kind of in its chirped way, kind of just butts its head against your neck as you feel the little feathers press against it, and you again hear in the base of your head, nothing is permanent save the soil and the sky. Take me, for example. I am one of billions that have been, are, and will be, as it should be. But you, Gidnup, big sister, you are the one remembered. You have a path where others have a place.
But what will I be remembered for? Helping?
Make another dexterity saving throw.
Am I gonna fight this bird? Ah.
You will be what is needed. And as he turns, you feel again the bump of the feathered head against your neck. Remember this place if you must, but only for what it gave you. Carry it with you. And if you need me, look to the eternal sky. And the bird jumps off your shoulder and flies off, making sure to dip by the monastery and tilts its wings as it curves off into the bright blue. And again, you swirl away from the monastery and are back in the chapel in the citadel. And for that, you receive a D6 of inspiration.
Nice.
And all of you that are sitting there kind of come to at the same time as Lord Homer is looking at all of you, and he says, "That is all. Are you all right? That's the blessing."
What the fuck was that?
That was odd.
I'm sorry if you didn't like it. It's
Holmesy, did you do that right?
Magics did you use?
I use no. I'm not proficient in the arts of magic. I utilize no magic. I'm sorry if.
That was an interesting experience for no magic.
Did you drug us? Did you drug us?
Of course I did not drug you. Why would I drug you?
Is he telling the truth, Greg?
Have you rolled an insight check?
No.
Yeah, I want to do that as well, actually.
26. I love bards. Oh my. I love
13.
bards. I love bards.
Rex and Billy, leave your headphones on. Everybody else, please take your headphones off.
What the fuck?
As he is saying this, you get the distinct impression that these are prepared lines.
Like he's said them before.
Or like he's rehearsed them and written them down because he's a bad actor.
Yes, these answers to your, was it a magic user? Was it magic? Was it drugs? That seems to be a prepared line.
Don't make that face.
Greg. So let's see. I look at Rex. And I arch an eyebrow at him.
I nod at her, acknowledging the eyebrow.
I cast detect magic.
He is glowing from tip to tail.
You son of a bitch!
And I'll once I see her react to that, I'll.
Fuck were you guys talking about?
Son of a bitch!
What's going on?
You see that Billy begins to cast a spell, and you see as Lord Homer steps back and raises his arms with his hands out forward, and he says, Now, let's not do that.
What is going on here?
Just a friendly little what should we call it? Examination.
Why? What's happening?
I would like to cast Zone of Truth on him.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take
What's
out my
the-
bow and arrow.
What's the DC for that?
That's a good question. Here, I'll go ahead and cast it, and it will tell us.
Yeah, it's a charisma save, I believe.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, charisma.
What's your DC?
17.
Ooh.
What school of magic is he glowing, Greg? Lots.
Illusory.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
I cock my arrow back and I point it directly at him. It's like downwards, so it's like gangster style. And I'm gonna
You're
say,
sideways, right?
yeah, and I'm just gonna be like, tell me what's going on here now, or I will kill you.
Who the fuck are
You
you?
be the first, Lord.
I'm going to raise my hands, be an emissary of peace. There seems to be something that we aren't all aware of. Lord Homer has taken us into his home and supplied us for a very dangerous journey. I think we should hear him out and give him the benefit of a doubt.
I think
Now
that's
see
gonna
there, reason.
that's gonna get you killed.
No one's
Kidnap.
stopping him from talking. My arrow.
Let's all put our weapons down.
I have
Calm
no weapon.
down, everyone.
Not gonna
Calm
happen.
Put your
down.
hands down. Put your magic hands
Everyone,
down.
calm down.
I'll put them at half mast.
Listen. Just hear me out, if you will. The Lord is indisposed at the moment. He's preparing for many things. I am his surrogate in these proceedings.
Inside check.
Whose voice is this?
It's definitely not Lord Homer's.
Oh, God, fucking
Does it sound familiar?
You've never heard it before.
Drop the disguise.
Is it Jeffries?
Drop
It's the
it.
Sparrow, isn't it?
If you think you can handle it. And as the disguise drops, Angel from the painting is standing in front of you as he says, ta-da! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we will end this episode of the Valley of Soot and Skull.
Oh my gosh, Angel, I'm such a huge fan. It's so great to finally meet you.
I loved you in Buffy. It was great.
Yes.
My glasses broke.
Oh no!
Oh, and Ray.
Angel!
To answer your question from earlier, Gideon, when you were like, "Oh my God, what were you guys talking about?" Like, I literally just did that just to mess with y'all.
God damn.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. Greg was actually telling us, like interesting stuff, but I was like, "Oh God, no, what?" You know, just to freak y'all out.
See, I thought it was Eon. Like, oh, this is really.
Fantastic.
Oh, dude,
Ah!
Okay, everybody, let's go in reverse order. So we're going to start with, as we do our outros, Heavenly, how did you like tonight's episode, and where can we find you online?
I really liked tonight's episode. I really liked starting in battle. I don't know that I've ever started a session where we just got into battle right away. And so that was it really got me going for the whole session. Like my adrenaline was pumping. You can find me on Twitter at tis_aliens. Tis aliens.
Fantastic. And again, I have no ability to add this into chat. So everyone, if you look down in the doobly-doo, you are able to see beneath Heavenly at tis_aliens. Go follow her because she will tell you things. Yes. And she will be able to commiserate with you about cryptic sparrows and dickhead bards. Speaking of dickhead bards, I'm not doing it. Let's go down to Josh as we talk to Pro. Pro, how are you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Love the session. You're a story master as always, Greg. Sucking me in with that immersion, giving me the glory holes I need. It's super great.
It's how I roll, man.
But no, I love playing with everyone. Everyone's super great. I am Pro Starter. Catch me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram as well. I play games, throughout the week on some various channels as well. These people, I had to be playing with them. Monday, you can catch me again here at 1:30 BST, and I can be Sad Boy Matthias, who is an Asimar and who's lovely email, because that's just my jam, and it's late and I can't think. That's me.
Finger guns to end it. Love it. When in doubt, draw the finger guns. As we go from the finger guns over to the big guns of Brewhammer's Rex, how did you have fun tonight, buddy?
Oh, no, I had an amazing amount of time. Amazing time. Yeah. Fighting dragons, glory holes,
you do have to fight them sometimes. I mean, what? I've never heard
that. Sweat lodge visions. This thing had everything, and Greg, you're the DM that we need, but not the one that we deserve, sir. So thank you very much. You can find me at Brewhammer, at Brewhammer DND, on Twitter, and also on some Fridays, not every Friday, but on some Fridays on Conan Age Undreamed Of on Greg's channel.
Absolutely, and you will be back this Friday on Conan Age Undreamed Of as we continue that adventure.
Tune in and watch me kill 48 people.
It's probably going to happen. Let's go straight up as we are straight. Let's wait this way as we go to Eris. Eris, how are you doing? And did you like the session? Please say yes.
That was so much fun. Can I just say I have a hard time picking which is my favorite campaign because I'm having so much fun in all of them. So good job on the storytelling and making it difficult to choose. Yeah, I'm having a ton of fun. I love the dragon fight and how we're going back and forth. I think that's great. You can catch me on Twitter playing with hula hoops and making stuff. Eris Savad. Down below you can see, and from there you can find everything else that I do, pretty active. So yeah,
fantastic, good. I'm 4 for 5 going in down the stretch. He's got a comfortable lead,
but here's a ringer.
Right, he's getting ready to go to the whip if he thinks he can make it. But Lauren, how did you like tonight's session?
Greg, listen, we should probably talk because I don't know if I can keep doing this. I love tonight. I am having the best time. My heart is like so full. I had so much fun. I love this. I love this so much. Other places you can find me, I'm on Twitter at That's All Too Ginger. Yeah. Calm the hell down. I'll bring you back down tomorrow. Yep, Twitter at That's All Too Ginger. If you want to see me other places, I'm on Conan with Brew and Greg next Friday at noon Eastern. Lots and lots of fun. Tomorrow night, we're back with Project Athena, Hulk Cthulhu on Greg's channel at 7 p.m. Eastern, Grimjack 21502. Best show. Love it. I don't know how my heart can contain all the shows that Greg GMs for, but I just think he's amazing. And I love this cast a lot. And I'm really happy.
Awesome. I am glad, and we're getting out of here because our European friends are staring right at the dawn and getting ready to go to sleep and dream of sparrows and ghastly masks and threats. But before we go, I will tell you that your DM, I'm Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and the Twitters. Chat, thank you for hanging out and helping me in the battle. I will need it next week as well, as I am going against 5 seasoned pros that are conspiring against me. But now perhaps they are conspiring against us. So chat, my soldiers, fill my flanks like the Spartans of old, and together we will be able to hold back these people like the brave 300. But anyway, what's going on with me tomorrow night, as Lauren mentioned on my channel from 7 to 9, Grimjack21502, Project Athena, which is a Pulp Cthulhu opus where we punch Nazis and have fun doing it. Next Friday on my channel from 12 to 2 is Conan Age Undreamed Of, and from 2 to 4 is Firefly Tales from the Big Damn Verse, where we do some Firefly RP action, pros in it. And then on Saturday, a week from today, from 2 to 4, it is Project Kronos, another Pulp Cthulhu sister show to Project Athena that goes on my channel from 2 to 4. But meet us back here next week, 9 Eastern, as we continue this tale and see exactly if we can take this dragon out and who, if anybody, will drop. But for the Greyhawk channel, please visit all of our sponsors. Take it easy. Smell your cantrip candles. Fantastic. It's a walk in the woods, everybody. It's a walk in the woods. And it smells like it. I'll smell you guys next week. Have a good one.
Smell you later.